10.
A nearby school will soon get a new look and will help women and children in need. Demolition is underway at Holy Rosary Catholic Church. That headlines tonight's top stories in your Erie in 66 seconds. The project will cost $2.5 million and the money will come from support for the Mercy Center and grant funding. The major expansion will help provide transitional housing for women and children in need. The center reached an agreement with Holy Rosary School. 13 old classrooms are being renovated into a living space with bedrooms and bathrooms. And you might need to find a different way to work. PennDOT will begin another paving project beginning this Friday. The paving project will take place at the 6N interchange on Interstate 90, at which time the interchange will be closed. Traffic will be rerouted to routes 20 and 215. The project is expected to be completed by late November. A fun weekend down at the Bayfront wrapped up today. The 6th annual Erie Poker Run came to a close. This year, only 50 boats were in the competition. The primary course being a 110-mile ride to Dunkirk and back. And the 3 days of boating come to an end. Local participants and visitors saying they look forward to next year's poker run. And for updates on those top stories and breaking news anytime, log on to yourerie.com on the web. Also, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. TikTok says it will fight the Trump administration in court over an executive order that bans its operation in the U.S. The company says it could begin legal action this week. That's unless an American business buys the platform. TikTok says it has tried to negotiate with the Trump administration but encountered what it calls a lack of due process. The White House has argued the company could be a security risk. Taco Bell has unveiled its newest restaurant design, and it's aimed at limiting human interaction. Now, these photos show how the food chain is pushing its mobile ordering service and drive-through. Taco Bell is cutting back on dining room and seating and adding a second drive-through lane dedicated to pickup orders made on its app, Go Mobile. Now, the app is called Go Mobile, and it's set to roll out next year. The design and mobile ordering system is in response to how customers changed the way they order food during the pandemic. And one of the downsides for employees reopening their business is the possibility workers may become infected with the coronavirus. Fox News correspondent David Spunt tells us this could lead to a whole new set of problems.
As COVID-19 rages on in small towns and big cities, people are beginning to return to work, leaving many employers across the country worried about lawsuits.
Anytime there's uncertainty in business, it makes business owners there's an element of fear that's naturally introduced.
Air Force veteran Joe Shamus owns a small manufacturing business that makes American flags and other Old Glory-related apparel. Flags of Valor has 16 full-time employees and continues to grow.
It doesn't matter who's wrong or right. The mere process of going through it and the costs associated with it can destroy a company.
According to a recent study by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, 2/3 of small businesses with between 20 and 500 employees are worried about COVID-related lawsuits.
The threats are pretty extreme, and we do expect the number of lawsuits to increase as time goes on.
But it's not just small companies in the litigation crosshairs. Walmart, Tyson Foods, Safeway, all large companies named in COVID-related lawsuits. According to the COVID-19 complaint tracker from independent law firm Hunt & Andrews Kurth, just over 4,000 COVID-related complaints have been filed in courts across the country. Republicans are pushing for a COVID relief bill that protects companies, schools, and churches from lawsuits. Democrats are pushing back, so are trial lawyers.
Our mission is really just to hold folks accountable if they act unreasonably.
COVID-19 hit Toby Milrod personally, but not in the courtroom. His mother died from the virus in April after what he calls multiple mistakes made by her medical facility.
We don't really have any intention at all in bringing an action, but we would have that right. That is a fundamental American value and right.
As of now, the majority of active lawsuits involve businesses. Legal experts expect to see more involving schools as kids begin to crack open the books. In Washington, David Spunt, Fox News.
Coming up next on Fox 66 News, Just for Men, we'll tell you about some health problems that men will need to take seriously. That's next in our health report.